complaint to follow up, examine, trace, track, and search, step-by-step examination or process, and meticulous observation. The facts of the commission of a crime, the identity of the actors, and the circumstances attendant thereto by careful evaluation of all available pieces of evidence to the end that violators of the law will be brought to the bar of justice and the innocent be relieved therefrom. So that's another concept of criminal investigation.
Uy, bungko lagi ni.
So again, let me just put it simply, criminal investigation, the application of the concept of investigation to determine the truth surrounding a particular crime. Okay? So in conducting investigation, whatever we do, it must be within the boundaries of the law. Also, investigation always starts with a complaint. We cannot conduct an investigation if there is no complaint. Right? So we proceed with yun. So since we are now about criminal investigation, obviously the matter being questioned is whether or not there is a certain crime. But we need to we really need to know what is crime. So accordingly, crime, these are actually transgression. Crime is action that differs according to whatever law that is being violated. For example, we have the felony, we have the offense, and we have the infraction. Felony, these are acts and omissions in violation of the revised penal code. And say, for example, murder, homicide, rape. So these are what we call as felonious acts or felony. And then there are certain instances, or there are instances wherein a violation or an act is considered a crime and it was not defined by the revised penal code. Rather, it was defined by a special penal law. What do we mean by special penal law? These are laws that cannot be found in the revised penal code.
Yes,
Say, for example, yung RA 9262, or the Violence Against Women and Their Children Act. So that is an example of a special penal law. The 9165, again, that is a special penal law. And if you are to observe the difference between the revised penal code at saka sa special penal law is commonly mabibigat yung penalties kapag offense yung nakomit or kapag if it is in violation of a special penal law as compared to that of those that are in violation of the revised penal code. What I mean is not to mention the murder, homicide. What I was saying is considering that the revised penal code was already rather almost a century old na siya, matanda na siya. So definitely, yung mga penalties niya, yung corresponding na penalties, in fact, yung mga fines, masyadong maliliit if applied sa kung ayos sa if applied nowadays. Kasi obviously, yung hundreds nung una malaki sa kanila pero sa atin ngayon is maliit na. So that there is a big disparity. Alright? So, yun, that is the concept of offense. Then we have the infraction. The infraction is violation ng mga municipal at saka mga city ordinances. Like for example, curfew, yung no smoking, yung no jaywalking, those are infraction. So anyways, that's the concept of crime. And accordingly, we have the so-called three elements or crime, what we refer to as the triangle of crime or pwede rin sa tinatawag na crime triangle. Definitely, it states that the mere absence of one element, automatically a crime cannot exist. Right? So, accordingly, there are three elements. We have the motive, opportunity, and the instrumentality or capability. So when we speak of motive, we refer to the moving power or force which compels a person to commit acts towards a definite result. Right? So, however, when it comes to
Kyle,
uh, pagdating na ng trial, when it comes to the uh, actual hearing of the case, it is not the motive that is being proven. What is really being proven is the so-called intent. Right? Kasi when we speak of intent, we are talking about the desire. Or simply speaking, ano yung gusto niya. Okay? There is a difference between motive at saka sa intent. Ano ba yung pinagkaiba nila? Ang motive is, say for example, di ba, it is a moving power or force. Say for example, gutom, uhaw. So pag ginugutom ka, normally that is a compelling force. It tells your stomach, it tells your brain na kailangan mong kumain na para masatisfy, para mabusog ka. In the same manner, pag inuhaw ka, kailangan mong uminom. Diba? That is a motive. That is a compelling force. Same is true with jealousy, greed, diba? Jealousy, nagselos ka kasi yung girlfriend mo or boyfriend mo, nakita mo, merong kasama sa isang hotel, nagalit ka, that is a motive. However, when it comes to trial, hindi yan yung tinitingnan. Alright? Ang tinitingnan is yung intent or desire. So for example, sinaksak mo yung makita mo yung boyfriend mo, or rather, yung makita mo yung girlfriend mo, may kasama ng ibang lalaki, lumabas sila sa isang hotel, nakita mo, tapos, syempre, nagselos ka, nagalit ka, tapos, nung kinumpronta mo sila, right? So, sinaksak mo, pinagsasaksak mo yung lalaki. So, normally, pagdating sa kaso, or pagdating sa trial, hindi yung jealousy yung improve dyan. Kasi nga, if yung motive yung titingnan, or if yung jealousy yung titingnan, paano mo ma-determine yung tinatawag na kung ano yung corresponding penalty sa kanya. So therefore, that's the reason why when it comes to trial, it is the intent that is being established, or it is the intent that is being proven. So kung sinaksak mo siya, yung desire, so titignan nila, nakailang saksak ka ba, tapos kung yung mga sugat is lahat nasa likod, then yung desire mo is to inflict fatal wounds. At saka yung desire mo, yung intent mo is to really kill that person. So in that manner, so malalaman sa trial kung ano yung corresponding na penalty para doon sa crime na nakomit. Okay? So that's the difference between motive at saka sa intent. However, although I have mentioned that normally in trial, motive is not really relevant. However, there are certain times wherein motive becomes material. And what are these instances? Number one, when the act brings variant crimes. So may nangyari, tapos merong patay na katawan dyan, tapos yung bahay nasunog, tapos may nawawalang gamit. So therefore, you cannot really determine kung ano yung kaso na ipafile. arson with robbery and homicide ba? Or robbery with homicide and arson? So, yun na nga, that is when motive becomes material. Right? So, when the act brings variant crime. So, you really need to establish the motive for you to be
I mean,
guided.
purpose ba like
Now,
wala mga
the second instance wherein
niya din na
a motive becomes material or a motive becomes of substance when there is a doubt whether the accused committed the crime or the identity of the accused is doubtful, which is true indeed. So when the accused or when the identity of the accused is doubtful, so you need to establish kung meron ba siyang motibo or wala. And the purpose of which, kung bakit nagiging relevant or material ang motive is to single out para ma-eliminate yung mga innocent or yung sa tingin mo is innocent at saka yung sa tingin mo is possible na suspects or possible na perpetrator. So that's when a motive becomes material. And then, the third instance when motive becomes material is when the evidence in the commission of a crime is purely circumstantial only. When we speak of circumstantial evidences, we are talking about evidence that are acquired by mere inference only or mga kumbaga deductions lang natin coming from a certain facts. So therefore, normally when it comes to trial, medyo mahina yung tinatawag na circumstantial evidence. That's why you need motive para mas tumibay yung circumstantial evidence. And then lastly, motive becomes material when the evidence of the guilt of the accused is inconclusive, or meaning to say it cannot really produce conviction. So in order to convince the judge, so motive should also be established. Right? So that's the first element of crime. Second one is what we refer to as the opportunity. So opportunity is the chance or time given to the offender in committing the crime. Then last element is yung tinatawag na instrumentality or capability. When we speak of instrumentality or capability, it involves the use of materials and other means which are essential in the commission of the crime. For example, for the crime of rape, what do you think is the instrumentality or the instrument that is being used in the crime of rape? Anybody? Anybody? Mr. Lloyd? For the crime of rape, ano yung instrument?
crime of
Nakatulog na ata si Mr. Lloyd. Mr. Tolomia.
Ako daw, sir.
Sige, Mr. Ronald.
Like, gamit bang paktay, sir?
For the crime of rape, ano yung instrument? For the crime of rape, ano yung instrument yan?
Ulo, sir.
Rape ha? Rape? O
force.
force? Ano pa?
Panyo.
Ano yung instrument? What is rape?
Sexual assault, sir.
Sexual assault? Sexual harassment?
Sexual intercourse.
Who can be charged for the crime of rape?
Ang kuan, sir,
Pardon, sir?
Who can be charged for the crime of rape? Who can be charged?
The rapist. Sir.
Lalaki, babae.
Rapist, sir.
Equator, sir.
The rapist.
Miss Jarazi, you were saying?
The rapist, sir.
The rapist. I mean, is it exclusive for ano lang? Lalaki?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
On what basis? On what basis?
There are also cases, sir, na ay babae po nga mo-rape, sir. Even gays po, sir.
Babae ang mang-rape?
Oh, na ay case ana, sir.
Okay. Kasi, if we are to define the crime of rape, usually, according to the revised penal code, parang
ano, nasamad ka.
insertion, okay? Pardon me lang ha, pardon me. Anyways, malalaki naman kayo. Insertion ng pencil doon sa flower.
After pencil flower.
Do you catch my drift?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, insertion ng pencil doon sa flower. So, meaning to say, with that definition alone, it simply tells us na if we are to follow the definition of rape, the revised penal code, rape can only be committed by a male to a female. Tama?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If we are to follow that definition. However, there is what we call as Republic Act 8353 or the anti-rape law. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, in this RA, in this particular law, ang sabi niya, or rather, the crime of rape is no longer exclusive between a man and a woman. Kasi the mere insertion of any foreign object to any opening sa katawan ng isang tao that includes the anal orifice
Chicken hotdog.
that can be considered the crime of rape. Take note of the word penetration because that is what is being considered for the crime of rape. That's why. Kasi for the crime of rape, if there is no penetration, then that cannot be considered a crime of rape. What do I mean by that? Kasi, di ba, yung word insertion, kasi nagkaroon ng penetration. So, assuming, nandun ka, ikaw lalaki, tapos andun yung babae, tapos ginamitan mo ng pwersa, tapos assuming, nasa, ano ka na, ibabaw ka na ng babae. Tapos, and then, last minute, you decided not to conduct penetration or not to push through doon sa penetration. Ang ginawa mo lang is, yung pencil mo,
Kanidang hag, kasi hindi kasama.
inilagay mo lang sa ibabaw ng flower. Then that cannot be considered a rape. Can you follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It cannot be considered a crime of rape. Could be an act of lasciviousness. Kasi for the crime of rape, there should be penetration. But nevertheless, what I am trying to point out is the concept of instrumentality or the capability. Or simply speaking, instrumentality or capability refers to the use of materials and other means which are essential in the commission of the crime. Now going back, as I was saying earlier, these three elements must be present in order for a crime to occur. Okay? So we proceed now with, do you have questions or clarifications? Questions?
Yes, sir. Wala na, sir.
Wala,
Klaro
sir.
tayo dyan? Klaro tayo? Ano yung, if we refer, say for example kasi ito yung common kasi na ito yung common na misconception or common na pagkakamali ng mga students namin. when answering boarding exam
Yeah.
questions. Kasi ang tanong
Amloy na
refers to the inquiry or refers to the asking of questions in order to ascertain the truth. Ang common na pagkakamali nila is they always answer criminal investigation, which is wrong. Can you follow? Why? Because the question is general in nature. The question asks for the process
Theory na mo.
wherein you inquire or you ask questions in order
Theory man
to
sana.
determine the
Ako na may
truth.
pangta na.
So obviously the answer is investigation. But if the questioning goes like this, the process or asking of questions in order to
Naasa akong
determine the
ano.
truth surrounding a particular crime in order to determine who perpetrated it, who is the victim, basta anything that has something to do with that crime, andyan yung keyword, then definitely that is what we refer to as criminal investigation.
No,
Can you follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So since there are yung
Sorry, sir.
okay lang. So since there are no questions, we proceed with evidence. So normally, in the conduct of criminal investigation, since ang main purpose natin is to find out the truth as to what really happened
Yung maestro sa
regarding sa isang krimen, then normally,
Dili. Katong
in order for us to do that, we need to provide evidence.
Milyama.
Alright? We
Milyama.
need to look for evidence.
First step.
So the question is, ano nga ba yung tinatawag na evidence? Okay? So, accordingly, evidence is the means sanctioned by these rules of ascertaining in a judicial proceeding the truth,
Dili. Cream. Foundation ba?
respecting a matter of
Mamatay sa pasyentes dun.
okay?
Ang mga kriminalo nga
Let me ask you, meron na kayong criminal law ngayon?
Matay.
Book
Yes,
1,
sir.
sir.
Criminal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Book 1, sir.
Pero wala pa kayo sa evidence.
Wala pa, sir.
Wala pa, sir.
Wala pa, sir.
Kasi ito yung common na pagkakamali din when it comes to this. Ito yung common na misconception kasi and hindi ito masyadong nabibigyan ng emphasis. Ikaw, as an investigator, okay? Responder ka, tapos pagpunta mo doon, okay? Or rather, say for, ibahin natin yung example. Part ka ng SOCO team, right? Part ka ng SOCO team. Tapos, ikaw yung tinatawag na evidence collector. And then, may na-retrieve ka na cartridge or ano bang tawag yan sa Bisaya? Yung slug ba? Yung basiyo ba yan sa inyo? Anong tawag dyan sa Cebuano?
Basyo, sir?
Di ba kapag magpapaputok ka ng baril, lalo na kapag ka-pistol, di ba yung bullet, yun yung yun yung mapoproject, yun yung mapupunta doon sa target. Tapos, merong mai-eject doon sa baril. Yung cartridge or
Oo, sir. Sir.
ano bang
Kabang,
tawag?
sir.
Aha. Aha, sir.
Kapsula, sir.
Kapsula, kahas, okay.
Kabang.
Kasi sa amin sa sa Waray, pasiyo ang tawag namin yan.
Oo, sir. Basyo, sir. Pwede.
Oh, yeah.
Basyo, sir. Oh, pwede, sir. Basyo.
Yeah.
Buray di kasi.
So, ikaw as an evidence collector, may nakita ka na pasiyo or cartridge or slug. Tell me, can you consider that cartridge, technical na question to ha, can you consider that cartridge as an evidence? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir. If ang victim kay sir, sama ng bala, pwede na sana.
Kasi, technically speaking, pag dumating na yung ano ninyo, actually, that is not yet considered as an evidence. Can you follow?
Why not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is not yet considered as an evidence. What do we call that? Anong tawag dyan?
Trace evidence.
No. It cannot be considered. It cannot be considered yet as an evidence. Technical kasi ito eh. Ang tawag dyan is exhibit.